Greetings there, my fellow assembly members. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to Starsector Scrappy Privateer. Episode 9, Agro's Assembly.
Alright, our crew's full. So we're good to go. We're good to colonize. I'm going to jump out of here before that picket chick catches me, because I don't need them getting pissed. They'll probably still find me anyway. So we are headed to... So if I hit E and go to planets, this is a list of all the known planets. And if I go to unclaimed, I can see all of the planets, whether they're claimed or not, and where they are. So I do have knowledge of some, like Hargor here, for whatever reason, is like a class 5 planet. With like, oh no, that's not true. Nama is a class 5 planet. I think because it has really rich ores, yeah. So the one I was interested in is Brand. In the Laglata Fortnath, what, I don't even know how to say it. So Brand is where I'm headed to, because it has rich farmland, which will allow me to feed initial population. Unfortunately, the ice giant nearby is of not much use, and the frozen worlds are not useful either. And then Kuza is in the same system as Brand. It's just it just has slightly less rich farmland. So they're both beneficial, but because I have soil nanites and a fullerene spool, I can head to Brand and benefit. And I can also colonize Kuza too. If wanted. So let's head to Brand. So you can also sort by hazard. So Kuza and Brand are at the top of the hazards because they're the nicest planets that I've found. So I'm going to lay in course for Brand, and we'll start a lovely fledgling colony. Oh, and I just gained rep with the pirates for doing legit trade with them. It's one of the reasons why I've been doing legit trade, not black market trade. So that I can gain passive rep for honorable trade? I know that sounds weird, but paying taxes to the pirates. Or taxes is probably the wrong term, more like tribute? Tribute would probably be a better term for it. Paying them tribute for spoils. You know what I didn't check is... Okay, I have enough fuel to get there and back. Good. Port fees, yeah, exactly. Also, I'm pretty sure this unidentified entity that is following me is just a false reading. Because it's like too perfectly shadowing me. And not trying to catch up and kill me. A slow fleet. And importantly, we're also going to be able to govern this ourselves, because I did pick up the governance trait. So here we go. There's also other factors. Other factors would be, like I said, the coronal shunt or the cryo sleeper ships, neither of which are factors here. They could be, though. It's possible that I have not discovered a shunt or a ship within 10 light years of this location, but I'm settling here anyway, so I don't care about other factors. I can always rename this later, but I'm actually going to call this one Agroville, which gives us a faction name, Agro's Assembly. I think this flag is probably the most appropriate. We're going to be... Oh, and. The prefix will be AA. And Agro's Assembly courier ship, the Assembly. Okay, I like that. Are now, rather than is. We're good. So, here we are. Our own little colony. So the colony is going to benefit from a comms relay in the system. I'm going to pay hazard pay to attract immigration. And then I'm immediately going to set up... I'm going to wait until the spaceport is done and then set up a megaport with the fullerene spool. And then once that's done, for accessibility, I'll set up mining or farming. So now we have gained access to the colony crises. So the way this works is once you hit 425, I think. No, once you hit 200, I think it differs depending on progress. You get a crisis event, which right now the only crisis event would be pirate activity. So I'd be raided by pirates, which is a little weird because I'm like not actually hostile with them. But you can build up crisis points through hostilities with other factions, or through the use of things like AI cores, or even if you are high market share of resources compared to competitors in the system. So for instance, if I am starting to farm a lot, whoever currently runs the majority market share of food in the galaxy might be pissed off that I'm now competing with them and attack me as a result. Hey Raul, how goes the new update? I like it. I haven't really checked out a lot of the newest update features on stream today, but like it's good fun. I tried some of it yesterday. So I'm going to do a comms relay. And in order to set up a comms relay, I need metals and transplutonics. And I'm not allowed to buy these things, so I should start to maintain a stockpile of metals and transplutonics. I can also use the alpha core. And I don't think I want to do it, because I don't know if this is going to be a permanent installation, but I could use an alpha core to set up another stable point in this sector by interacting with the star. But this only has one stable location. You haven't played in a while? Yeah, it had a major update yesterday, and then it had another update. I forget when 0.96 came out. It's been a while, but if you haven't played in a while, even 0.96 might be new to you. So I'm actually going to hang out in this sector until I can install the fullerene spool, because it's going to really help with planet growth. Oh, I take a shuttle down. Compliments of the house. Thank you. I mean, I own the house, but okay. And this person, all right, I don't want to pay him, but he's offering as a bounty for like anti-piracy, so it's not interesting to me. So only 2 days left for the spaceport, so I'll just hang out. Days go by really fast, as you can see the dates up here. So it's been 1 day now. This game seems really complex. You know, it's really not that bad once you start cutting your teeth into. Oh, there's still another little bit of time. There we go. So, install the fullerene spool. So, the factors to growth. Let's talk about that. The factors to growth is accessibility, which is up here. So accessibility is the proximity to other colonies, the hostilities of other factions, whether you have a spaceport or a megaport, and then other factors like the fullerene spool that I'm about to install. Then growth is also factored in by how habitable it is, spaceport, megaport, any bonuses to population and infrastructure, governance, and stability. So the two big things that you want in order to grow is stability. Yeah, he agrees. Stability and access. So if you have high stability and high access, you grow faster. So opening this up as a free port will lower my stability a little bit, because a free port opens it up to sort of like piracy activity, but allows you to import things that would otherwise be somewhat like illegal to import, like drugs and organs for population needs. But generally speaking, as long as your stability is over 5, it's worth free porting. If you can keep your stability over 5. So I'm going to upgrade this. I'm going to install the Fullerene spool. So as you can see, the access has gone up a lot as a result of the Fullerene spool. So now my growth has gone up a lot. So 7.3% growth is really, really nice growth. And then on top of that, I am going to upgrade to the Megaport. So upgrading to a Megaport will further increase like access and population growth. And then after I have that Megaport built, I'm going to build farming. And at some point, I will have to come back and install the soil nanites. What I can do now that I actually have a planet, and there's actually a really good reason not to do this, so I'm going to actually keep the soil nanites on me, is I could move all of my ships and goods here. Now, the reason not to do that is if I ever draw the ire of another faction and they do a inspection, and I have like gamma or beta or alpha cores stashed here, they will confiscate them. They will go bye-bye. I will lose them. So keeping your illicit goods in a derelict station can be safer than even your own stations until your own stations are like patrolled enough to be defended. Oh, I am going to... No, I don't need that. So, yeah, we have our fledgling colony that is growing. And we're building farming and a megaport there. The other thing we could build there that would benefit pretty early on would be an orbital station. It's really expensive, but it provides some sort of defense. Ground defenses increase stability bonuses, as does Patrol HQ. And then way stations increase the accessibility, and then also will allow you to resupply. So it's very useful for the player to have access to. So I might do the way station as well, just so that I can like resupply anytime I come here. So we have spent a sizable chunk of our money, and I'm not willing to spend any more right now because I'd like to be able to like afford my fleets and all that. So what are we doing next? We could do pirate missions, academy missions, or survey. Survey and salvage, I should say. It's entirely possible that we find even more juicy candidates for colonization. And it's also worth noting that you can abandon colonies that are small. So you have a finite amount of colonies, but unless you like grow them ridiculously, you can always abandon like the young ones if you find a better spot for them. But I think given the scope of this mini-series, it's probably not going to be all that necessary for me to abandon colonies. I don't think I'm going to really hit that 5 colony cap and then be like, oh no, I'm out of colony. Someone is trying to intercept me, so unless it's a fake I think it's a fake reading. They're moving too fast. Yeah, it's ghosts in the shell. So let's go back to Corvus, because I don't know what I'm doing next, but I know whatever I'm doing next, I don't need this ridiculous fleet that I have right now following me around. Because it's expansive. Whoa, what the hell? There's like some Galactic War happening right now. I just walked in the middle of it. Derelict ship and weapons cache. Very close to one another, and pirate missions is voted up pretty high, so I'm going to accept these because they're clustered together, making them really easy to do at the same time. And then derelict ships are also going to be where salvage is, so it works towards 2 of those goals. So yes, please, in other words. The other thing I didn't do that I really should have is refit. I'm stupid. I should have stopped at my... So I think that's what I'll do, is I'm going to go back to Corvus and grab some of my ships and then limp over and try to drop them off at Corvus and then refit the hell out of them. Whatever end up happening. I am a little strapped for time, though. My monthly earning is about negative 2k, or 20k. So let's say, do pirate missions. So current priority right now is do the 2 pirate missions I picked up and then refit the fleet. I'm doing them in that order. So I think I'm going to roll with the Eradicator and maybe the other Enforcer and the Manticore. So I'm not completely defenseless. Like, I'll have some combat capabilities if I get messed with. And maybe even... do I have another officer that is idle? I might as well... I could also take... Yep, there we go. So I have a fleet that like could fight something small. Very, very small, but I could probably win a small fight. I can also autofit these ships again. I'm not going to pay too much attention autofitting them. I'm just going to autofit with whatever I have in stock. I should have done my ship first, but I'm actually I'm okay with what my ship has. Oh, grav beam. Grav beams are really nice. There we go. So they have some equipment. Oh. You know, I'm going to try something weird. I try something really weird. So harpoons are finishers. I'm trying to think if I want to put them on or not. Yeah, let's put them on. This is probably a terrible ship design, but it's also kind of hilarious. Just a bunch of dual flat cannons. Give me auxiliary thrusters and ballistic rangefinders with an ITU. I'll show you why this is ridiculous. So I'm going to run a little combat simulation against, let's say, a hammerhead. I'll probably lose, but I just have basically like a spammy little gunboat, which is going to be stupid. If I can get within range of this thing, it will shred. Yeah, it's trying to stay out of range of me for very good reason, because the amount of flak that I have does... Yeah, I don't think it's a good build. It would work, but like, I just don't have the maneuverability to make it work. So, medium ballistic slots. I'm trying to think of what I want to put on here. I mean, assault chain guns are pretty good. What I could do is do the hypervelocity drivers. If I have any? No, I don't have any. Okay. Maulers are alright, I guess. but they have long range, so they're best paired with something that can match that. Heavy autocannons are like decent, I suppose. So maybe what I'll do is I'll have the Mauler as self-controlled, and then I'll have the heavy autocannons as AI controlled. So this is a slightly different setup. Let's run a little sim to see if I'm like at all effective using this. Granted, I'm like punching above my weight class here. That's kind of the point. Yeah. If I could take down a hammerhead, it's like not a terrible design. This hammerhead just like took off. He's like, I don't want any of that. Scary. I could also try to control the Manticore. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Because the Manticore is also a really good ship. I might enjoy that more than the... So let's try that. So what is on here? Mjolnir cannon. I have access to a Gauss cannon. So the Manticore, if you're wondering, it has just a large ballistic slot. So Gauss or Hellbore or Mjolnir are all like decent. So maybe I'll try to stick the Gauss that I have on there. What are these? Medium missiles? So I have proximity charge launchers are really strong. Those are pretty awesome. But I would like, given that I have two, I'm going to strip some Vulcan cannons off of something else that has Vulcan cannons so that I can use them for myself, because they're really good point defense. So I'm going to ruin this Enforcer. Sorry, Fangface. Ruin this Enforcer for the benefit of mine. So I'll put in light dual machine guns in that one. Alright, so... Latent Eaters are also really strong anti-shield, but I think I'll have 3 Vulcan cannons to protect me from missiles. And then this Gauss cannon, which is just the main gun to whittle down enemy shields, with some sort of finisher. Medium finishers, so... Proximity charge launchers, Sabo SRMs... Breach? Breach is alright. Has anti-armor. Do I have any Typhoons? The Annihilator rocket launch. Well, aren't these small? Yeah, those are small slots. Jackhammers are kind of garbage. Dragonfire is terrible. Maybe I could have one of each. I mean, the Annihilator rocket prods for pressure is a pretty good one to use. So I'll do Annihilator rocket pod and the proximity. Well, I don't need 2 pressure. God, I don't have other good options. Yeah, I'll have two pressure launchers then. All right, so it comes with a built-in ballistic rangefinder, so it will increase the range of that Gauss cannon. So this thing is going to be able to plink at enemies very, very effectively from long range. So it's not one of those like get in quick and dirty type of builds. So let's do auxiliary thruster, and I'm also really tempted to do unstable injector so that I move faster. But how fast do the Manticores move by default? It might not benefit me if I'm slow. Plus, I don't have helmsmanship, so there's not much of a benefit there either. So their top speed is 80. Yeah, they're not a fast mover. So auxiliary thrusters and maybe extended shields? Or no, I won't even do that. I'll just see how I like this setup. Let's run a little sim against the same hammerhead, so we're apples to apples. Oh, I hold on. I didn't do weapon groups. All of the Vulcan cannons were just... So I can put them on auto as 7, and then the missiles I don't want as auto. Because the AI controls the missiles stupidly. I mean, so do I, but like the AI is worse. So here's the Annihilator rocket pods. It's a pressure missile. Oops, I'm controlling my thing very poorly. And then their special ability is the flak. We're both venting at the same time, but this ship vents much faster. Oh god, I should probably put in venting in this Manticore, because as you can see, I'm just getting destroyed from that long vent. Good to know. Let's try, forget the auxiliary thrusters and go with vents over capacitors? Or like maybe equal amounts of each? I'm probably honestly spending too much time trying to figure out how to use a ship in combat that I'm not going to be using much of. I just don't want to be wholly ineffective in a fight. As long as I'm careful about engagement range, I can outmaneuver and outdamage this hammerhead. And because the Gauss cannon's range plus the ballistic rangefinder is so good, I can hit it way outside of its ability to hit me. The hammerhead's strength, if you're wondering, is very fast ballistic attack speed as an ability, so you don't want to get too close to them unless you have like high shields or high armor or both. But as you can see between the... Let's see if the Vulcans shoot those down. Yeah, the Vulcans shot one of the 2 missiles down. So it's not like a necessarily sexy ship to command because of how slow the engagements are. I also can imagine that this thing would not be particularly good against swarmers. Although the pressure missiles would be okay against swarmers. The Vulcan point defense is doing a pretty good job because all 3 are forward-facing, protecting me from the incoming missiles. So yeah, it's reasonable. I'll run this way. Alright, so you guys wanted me to do... Let's do those pirate missions finally. So do I have the range for... Well, I don't have the fuel for it. And I need to drop off some crew, too. How is Destroyer with Roy fitted? Generically, as is everyone else. TLDR is, I don't know. I'm not spending a lot of time on that. Until I have more ordinances to actually design nice things. We need to buy a little bit more black market fuel, and then we can run those pirate missions. So I don't need to survey planets, so the amount of crew that I have is not a determining factor of success. Fuel is full. I don't know if I have the range. Ethereal and Ishith or whatever. Yeah, I can not get there and back. So I'm going to need to bring a fuel ship with me so that I have the range. So Phantom might be a little overkill, given its movement speed. Maybe just the Dram might be just enough to get me there. Do we have to do black market in our own system? No. We can open market in our own owned system. It's mostly just like our trade should not benefit other factions. But open marketing with pirates is fine, and open marketing with ourselves is fine. So I think if I filled the fuel tanks, we could almost make it there and back. I honestly probably should just bring the Prometheus and deal with the fact that I'm going to move slowly. One of the other things is like all of the combat ships use a lot of fuel, so inversely what I could do is I could drop off some of the combat ships that I'm rolling with, like the Eradicator. So the bang for my bucks would be Destroy with Roy and Thryfang and Fangface and just go with the Manticore. I'll probably end up doing that just to be able to do these missions, because it doesn't really matter. And honestly, it doesn't really matter if I have a combat crew, because most of the things that I'm going to interact with or face is going to be able to outpunch me anyway. Uh-oh. Well, risk it for the brisket. So let's go and run with minimum crew. Someone's chasing me. There is a lot of war happening right now. There is some sort of faction dogfights going on hardcore right now in the system. So if I'm going bare minimum, let's say I am, this would be sort of the bare minimum run. And I think that's probably better. My range is probably awesome now. Yeah, my range can get me out to Isheth and back, no problem. All right. Going naked. Just like Yoda. Kolsch, thank you for the sub. All right, a lot of growth going on right now. Pretty stable still. Stability's high enough that it's not suffering. It's actually making money already without even farming, which is incredible because of how habitable and accessible it is. Which is honestly nutty. Because almost all new colonies are a money sink, usually. And I'm even paying hazard pay. If I wasn't paying hazard pay, it would be even better. It's not a lot of money, but it's not negative, which is... What's making money? Just like population exports. Domestic goods, that kind of thing. It's a port. So like trade port fees, that kind of thing. Whoa, that's a scary fleet. What the hell, man? What the hell? Yep, not hanging around there. Ass-modded death fleet right there. Don't know what that was about, and I don't want to find out. S-modded Legion and S-modded Paragon. Oof. Oh, I was moving slow. Freaking storm damage. I have plenty of supplies, so I'm just gonna blitz through this storm. That was definitely a Nunya fleet. Yeah, none of my business. It was sitting there idle, and that's not one you go sniffing out unless you have a quick save ready. Getting home will be easy. There is slip storms galore on the way back, as long as they don't decay or flip polarity. Speaking of which, we're almost at reverse polarity numbers. I mean, not almost, but we're getting there. 335 out of 400, I think is what that said. And then we can really start riding the slipstream waves. Being able to go against the course. Oh. Ooh. So what are we doing here? Because there's some nice potential colonies here, too. Some distance away from the center. And it's a derelict ship. Thanks for the intel. We've got a mining station with hardened shields. I like hardened shields a lot. Phase anchor, good for phase ships. And then some supplies that I barely have room for. And the debris had a beta core. Maybe the veterans that really know the game all that well in the chat can correct me, but if I am not mistaken, ooh, another story point. Beta cores, if you don't intend to use them for industry, you don't, or turn them into factions. Beta and gamma cores don't have other benefits other than like industry or factions or pilots. Okay, we are farming, and as a result of farming, credits per month has gone up. It's also possible that I will be threatened as a result of farming, because I'll have some industry that is attractive to attack. So I have to keep an eye on that. We have an administrator that was on this planet with another beta core, gamma core, Cyclone Reaper launcher, which is awesome. Typhoon ion cannon, integrated targeting mod spec, and expanded missile racks. Both are awesome. I really like those as mods. I'm also trying to amass some transplutonics, so that I can install stability in the system that I own. So I'll take 50 transplutonics. I think that's going to be enough for most of what we need. Let's fire that administrator, because I'm not needing one yet, and I don't want to pay for one. And try to find that the derelict that I'm supposed to analyze. You can use beta cores as officers for automated ships. Yeah, I'm in this series. I'm not doing redacted. I'm not doing Omega. I'm not doing any of that. So I don't think it benefits me at all. So I claimed the sensor array so that I can find the derelict a little bit easier. And I think once the spaceport and way station is built on Agroville, we'll be able to, it will be really kind of turning a profit. Especially if I pull hazard pay. Alright, I hate when they're like, some distance away from the center. It's like, give me a direction or something. Because I don't have, oh, here it is. I bet. There was an Atlas-class super freighter here. Oh, boy. So there's the sensor package. So the Atlas class super freighter is probably worth, and it's only 1 damage of increased maintenance. Yeah, it's happening. And it was full of drugs. So we found the party boat. So this thing has a cargo capacity of 2K. So it's the highest volume, capital-sized cargo ship possible. And let's raffle that off. So this plus the Prometheus that I have are 2 really nice ships. Once I can augment their field drives so they move faster, to be able to do survey and salvage missions, because I will have tons of fuel and tons of cargo capacity for stuff. So now I can probably just salvage every last ship in this cluster here. Oh, it's a pirate mule. Yes, please. I'm going to take that one too. So pirate mules come with the benefit of shielded cargo. And they're also a little bit better in combat too. This one has a faulty power grid, but it's a smuggling combat freighter. So it's like these with just a little bit more combat capabilities and shielded cargo. It's really the shielded cargo, which is nice, because the only other shielded cargo is Guitar Lilin, which has a very small cargo bay. So between these two, I now have 350 shielded cargo, which is a lot of protection from naughty scans. Also, I think that fleet's trying to kill me. Could you kindly piss off?
Thank you for tuning in to Starsector Scrappy Privateer, which originally streamed live on Twitch February 3rd and February 4th. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below, but please keep in mind that this is a series from a marathon stream, meaning that changes cannot be made to the series. If you would like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you would like to join my online gaming community on Discord, a link can be found in the description of this video or also at Rhadamant.com. Additionally, in the description of this video is a link to the details about this series, if you're wondering about the scenario series rules or goals. Thank you so very much for watching, and a special thank you to my Patreon patrons, Twitch subscribers, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you in next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow privateers.